In a remote village in the Philippines, a mother performs a forbidden jungle ritual to bring her dead son back to life. But what returns is not her son. What she invites in unleashes something ancient and monstrous. In a remote Philippine village nestled between dense jungles and mist-covered mountains, lived Jasmine and her 5-year-old son, Mateo. The village was a tight-knit community where everyone knew each other's name, and the air was thick with the scent of tropical flowers and the sounds of distant waterfalls. One fateful evening, Mateo fell gravely ill. His small body burned with fever, and his once bright eyes became dull and lifeless. The village doctor, an elderly man with trembling hands, did what he could but soon admitted there was nothing more to be done. "His time has come," he whispered, his voice heavy with sorrow. Desperate, Jasmine sought the counsel of a mysterious albulario, a witch doctor known for her controversial practices. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about her, warning Jasmine to stay away. "She meddles with forces best left alone," they cautioned. But Jasmine, consumed by grief and love for her son, ignored their warnings. The albulario's hut was hidden deep within the jungle, surrounded by ancient trees whose gnarled roots seemed to whisper secrets of the past. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of herbs and incense. The albulario, an old woman with piercing eyes and hands that moved with practiced precision, prepared a ritual to summon Mateo's spirit back from the afterlife. The ritual was intricate and sacred. Jasmine had to gather rare ingredients: the petals of a midnight bloom that only opened under a full moon, the ash of a burned rosary, and the blood of a freshly sacrificed goat. She had to chant ancient incantations passed down through generations, invoking spirits and deities to aid in the resurrection. The albulario warned her, "If the ritual fails, the consequences will be dire." On the night of the ritual, the jungle seemed to hold its breath. Jasmine, trembling with fear and hope, performed the rites as instructed. As the final chant echoed into the night, the earth trembled, and a gust of wind extinguished the candles. In the eerie silence that followed, a soft cry pierced the air. Jasmine rushed to the gravesite, her heart pounding in her chest. There, standing amidst the fog, was Mateo. His small form was silhouetted against the moonlight, his arms outstretched, silently begging to be held. His once vibrant eyes were now dull and lifeless, and his skin was cold to the touch. He no longer cried and refused to eat anything but goat's milk. Days passed, and the family's unease grew. Mateo wandered the house in silence, never speaking, never smiling. He refused to eat anything, and his eyes remained glazed, as if staring through everything and everyone. The house grew colder. Shadows lingered longer than they should. Jasmine tried to believe he was still her son, but every time she looked into his eyes, she felt the truth clawing at her heart. Then one evening, as the family gathered for dinner, Jasmine noticed something strange. Mateo was no longer inside. He was standing at the threshold of the front door, arms outstretched, silently pleading. It was as if something had pushed him out, or perhaps he had never fully entered at all. Tears welled in Jasmine's eyes as she reached for him. She whispered, "Come in, Mateo." The Teyanak smiled. That night, the family's worst fears were realized. The Teyanak, a malevolent spirit of an unbaptized child, had returned. It could not enter the home without an invitation, and Jasmine had unwittingly extended it. The creature's true form emerged, grotesque and terrifying. It devoured Jasmine and her family, leaving behind only the echoes of their screams. The village, once bustling with life, fell silent, a grim reminder of the price of tampering with forces beyond understanding. Whispers spread that Jasmine wasn't the first. Decades ago, Another mother had wandered into the jungle. Her son had also died of fever. The villagers remembered the silence that followed, the odd behavior, and the blood-soaked earth. They had buried the story as they had buried the bodies. Now, it had returned. Determined to find the albulario, the villagers ventured into the dense jungle. For days they searched, guided by old trails and broken memories. At last, they arrived at the place where the hut should have stood. But there was nothing. No hut, no signs of habitation. Only the dense, unyielding forest. It was as if the albulario had never existed. Some villagers whispered that the albulario had never been human, but a spirit herself, a guardian of the forest, who lured the grieving and the desperate into her domain. Others believed that the ritual had opened a doorway to another realm, and the albulario had vanished through it, leaving behind only the consequences of her meddling. The jungle grew thicker with time, reclaiming the paths that once led to her, and the midnight blooms, once rare, began to appear in strange places, even near the village schoolhouse. No one dared to touch them. The village, once a close-knit community, was now fractured, its people living in fear of the unseen forces that lurked in the shadows. The story of Jasmine and Mateo became a cautionary tale, told only in hushed tones at night. A reminder of the dangers of seeking answers in places where the living and the dead intertwine. And the jungle, once a source of sustenance and shelter, stood as a silent sentinel, guarding its secrets and its spirits, waiting.
Thanks for watching this chilling tale on Silent Vault. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more unsettling journeys into the unknown. Remember, some things are better left in the shadows.